when they can get a legal prescription from their doctor and snort pills and get high, right? So it's a problem with healthcare. And you got to get mad and you got to get loud and you got to tell the Department of Health that this problem is here. And I don't know if anybody's seen Network, that movie or not. Everybody remembers that movie? It's a reporter that went off the deep end. He stuck his head out the window and told everybody to stick their head out the window and say, we're mad as hell, we're not going to take it anymore. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. So keep on, keep pressure, and keep pressure. In my opinion, the solution to this, you're never going to get rid of people abusing dogs, but you can diminish it to an acceptable level where it's not ravaging the community. And it's ravaging the communities right now. Education, number one, okay? You've got to educate kids, you've got to educate parents that Dilaudid is a problem. It doesn't have the stigma that heroin has. It doesn't have the stigma that cocaine has. That's why kids will take it, because it comes from a doctor. They think, well, until it comes from a doctor, it's relatively safe. But it's not. It's highly addictive, and it's one of the worst addictions that you can ever have. Education, and the right type of education. Education where it's not a soft education. Right now, there were some ads that the NDP provincial government put in the theaters and they put on TV, et cetera, warning kids not to mix alcohol and Dilaudid, which is a good message. However, it's too soft and it's not all the message, right? It's just saying, don't take alcohol and don't take Dilaudid. They don't want people to know that there's kids that are sticking needles in their arms, and that's the truth. Kids are sticking needles in their arms and they're addicted to Dilaudid. And a lot of kids who tried Dilaudid never tried any other illicit drug. But because it comes from a doctor, they think it's relatively safe. They don't know the dangers. And their friends are telling them, oh, this comes from a doctor. It's no big deal. Just snort one and get high. Number two, enforcement. Justice has got to enforce it in the right way. The investigations are difficult, but they're not impossible. You put the right resources at the problem, you focus, you spend the money. It's not impossible to do. They did a big operation up in Escazone in Cape Breton, and it was successful. Why can't that be done in Annapolis Valley? Why can't it be done in Halifax? You know? Pressure. Recovery. Once you become an addict, to get off the pills, you need help. Kristen did the hard way. Shouldn't be the way. Shouldn't be the way you have to do it, right? There are methadone clinics, and the government has increased in Annapolis Valley anyway the number of patients that can be treated for addiction to Dilaudid. The magic answer there is methadone. You know why? Because it's the cheapest answer.
Exactly.
It's the cheapest
Thank
answer.
you. Thank you very much. That's where government has failed us.
Yep. Suboxone. They use Suboxone in the States. Glenn, you probably know about Suboxone, right? In your opinion, is Suboxone a better way to treat people? Yeah, but it costs more money. So they're using Suboxone, they're using methadone, Methadone's trafficked down the street too. Because if you get addicted to pills, and it's 2 weeks before you can get your next legal script, and you can't find any pills illegally on the street, you want to get through that withdrawal. And methadone is a stopgap method to get through that withdrawal until you can find a pill again, right? So people with scripts for methadone are taking as much as they need to get through their withdrawal, and then they're selling the rest on the street. Watering it down. There was just a bust in Cape Breton where the police seized a bunch of methadone that was stolen from a pharmacy. So that's another commodity that's being used on the street. Methadone is being trafficked as well. I want to ask you a question. Why in Nova Scotia do we hear about the Annapolis Valley, we hear about Cape Breton, we hear about the First Nations reserves, we hear about Metro, but there's certain areas of the province we don't hear a lot about as far as a lot of trafficking goes. Why do you think that is?
Maybe that particular governing area doesn't want to leak that information to make, that part of the government look bad.
I'm going to say something.
Or the police look bad, I'm not sure.
I'm going to say something that nobody wants to say.